Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks so much for joining us here on KXAN Live. I'm Esmeralda Zamora and today we're going to discuss a few of the top headlining stories both on our newscasts and on our websites. I went ahead and picked a few that I saw were having a lot of eyes on them on our website. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that first story, and that has to do with Allegiant Air. Allegiant Air announced that they plan to discontinue 7 of their flights going in and out of Austin in the next coming year. So this comes after another announcement late in June where they announced that they plan to end base operations in the Austin airport following the closure of the South Terminal. Now, by ending those base operations, they mean that they will no longer be housing their planes in the airport. Instead, when they do have scheduled flights, they will be bringing those aircrafts in on those days. Now, if you want to find out more information as to which flights exactly are being discontinued, well, you can find all those details on our website, KXAN.com. Now, I do want to mention that Allegiant accounts for 1.4% of passenger traffic at the Austin airport, and this change will take place early next year. Once again, for more information, you can always visit that website at KXAN.com. Now, moving on to some other news. Olive Garden, the Olive Garden owner, plans to purchase the Chuys chain. The Chuys chain started right here in Austin, and the owner, Darden, also owns Olive Garden, Longhorn Steakhouse, and other chains. They just agreed to this purchase. Both companies say that they have been struggling with a downturn in customer traffic related to inflation. This was a $605 million purchase and the transaction for the company. Moving on to our next story, we are going to be talking about the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, now known as X, owned by Elon Musk, the CEO. He plans on moving the X headquarters from San Francisco, California to Austin, Texas, right here. Now, he announced this earlier this week, and he announced that, of course, the company will be moving to Austin. He said he is frustrated over a California law banning schools from requiring a parent's signature if a child decides to identify as transgender. Economic and workforce experts say this move will essentially bring more money to Austin's local economy and more tech jobs for the workforce.
Tech is already one of those industries that is growing and expanding. There's a 3.2% of the industry expected to grow over the next few years. Additional headquarters moving here like X is just going to expand that workforce further.
And a report made by real estate company CBRE last year shares that Austin has the most headquarter locations in the country. 66 companies have relocated to Austin in the last 5 years. Now we're going to jump into some political news, and this is coming from the Republican National Convention. Governor Abbott spoke at the convention last night, and he took the stage to address foreign policy.
When Joe Biden ordered to cut that razor wire, I ordered the National Guard to triple the razor wire on the border.
He also announced earlier this week that he was sending over 100 troops to the National Convention, the RNC, to help with safety efforts following the attempted assassination of the former president, Donald Trump. He also announced that he plans to deploy these officers to the Democratic National Convention in August if that help is requested. Next up, we have news updates from the Trump's attempted assassination. New details have come out in the investigation into the assassination attempt. We are now seeing more detailed timelines of the moments leading up to the attempted assassination. Multiple sources tell NBC News the FBI and Secret Service told senators in a briefing that Pennsylvania State Police notified the Secret Service of a suspicious person 20 minutes before the shooting began. NBC's Aaron McLaughlin has the latest.
A chilling new video appears to show the shooter walking outside the security perimeter at the rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, before former President Trump took the stage. It's a potentially critical piece of evidence showing the moments leading up to the attempted assassination. Senate members in a briefing Wednesday afternoon provided with a timeline from the FBI and the Secret Service. Three sources familiar with the briefing tell NBC News. According to that timeline, over an hour elapsed between the time the shooter was photographed as a suspicious person and when he opened fire. And 20 minutes before the shooting, Pennsylvania State Police notified the Secret Service of a suspicious person with a rangefinder. 2 minutes later, the Secret Service notified snipers of the suspicious individual. At 6:02 p.m., Mr. Trump walks on stage.
We have people that should not be here. On the roof.
By 6:09, this video shows people yelling they've spotted a person on a rooftop. The first shots ring out just minutes later at 6:11.
Who was in charge of that building? Why wasn't the roof scrutinized? How did all these things happen?
Overnight, a Secret Service spokesperson clarifying to NBC News that they were notified of a suspicious person possibly carrying a backpack and a golf rangefinder that required further investigation, but that it wasn't until he retrieved the weapon and climbed the roof that he was identified as a threat. At the Republican National Convention, senators expressing their frustration to the Secret Service director. A senior law enforcement official telling NBC News the shooter was also found with a transmitter, a remote control for a fireworks detonator, next to his body.
Well, there you all have it. Those were the top headlines that we had for you all today, both on our newscasts and online. If you want to dive into some more details about each story that we talked about today, you can always do that on our website, KXAN.com. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back again here on KXAN Live soon. Thank you once again. I'm Esmeralda Zamora.